Hi and welcome to another episode of Toby's Barbecue Corner. Today I've been entrusted with a very special type of meat. Some call it the hammer, some call it Mjolnir. Anyways, we're going to barbecue Thor's hammer today. So what you need for it and how to do it, I'm going to show you in this episode. And there you go, guys, 2 kgs of Thor's hammer. So let me just give you a taste of it. Look at this, doesn't that look absolutely fantastic? And that's in essence already all we need. So we need a little bit of barbecue rub. You can use any rub you like. You need some butcher's twine. You need a thermometer. I'm going to be using my Meter Plus. And you need a sharp knife, because what you want to do is you want to take off all the silver skin here on the outside. And then we're going to wrap it with the butcher's twine. Right, the point obviously when taking off all of that silver skin is to take off as little meat as possible. So take your time. You know, I'm going to be taking my time. But the marbling inside is nice. There's a lot of collagen. So we're going to be smoking this on my Kamado outside. We're looking for an internal temperature eventually of about, I don't know, like somewhere between 92 and 94 degrees Celsius. And so I'm doing the prep work now, and then it's gonna go on the smoker. And as you can tell, it is quite a tough piece of meat. You know, obviously it is the leg of the cow. Just gonna try to take that off, as I said, with as little loss when it comes to the meat as possible. So do take your time. Alright, I'll be finishing this up, and then I'm gonna show you the next step. Cleaning of the meat is done, and now obviously, because you know it's all these individual muscles that are on there, the silver skin held that nicely together, so you have to be a bit careful not to lose certain parts. That's why we also need the butcher's twine later on. And now I'm just going to give it a good heap of my rub. Now you can use any rub you like, as I said, and you can use quite a bit, because this is obviously a massive piece of meat. So it can really use a lot of the rub. And obviously you can use, you know, a binder if you want, mustard, olive oil, whatever you want, but I'm not going to do that today. I find it's, you know, still wet enough for the rub to stick on. And maybe you notice I haven't bothered taking off the silver skin or anything in the back here, simply because I want it to stick together, as well as, you know, we're not going to eat any meat from there anyways, so no point in taking it off. And you can tell, look, it's coming apart here already, so we have to work rather quickly. And what I'm also very excited about, obviously, is the bone marrow that's inside. I'm sure that will give a lovely flavor into the meat as well, once it starts to melt a little bit and then, you know, run into the meat. All right. That should do it. Excellent. All right. So, and then all you need to do is take some butcher's twine and wrap it around a little bit. You know, make sure that it's nice and tight. And then actually I'm going to stick this back in the fridge for a couple of hours. You know, just for the rub to settle in a little bit. And then, as I said, it's gonna go on my Kamado later on. There we go. And then we do a second and maybe even a third, depending how the meat looks. Alright, and I'll see you outside once we're done with the setup for the smoker. The Kamado is nice and hot, so last but not least, in terms of the meat, we're going to put in the meter into the thickest part of the meat, roughly right there, and then we're going to select beef. I guess it's a big piece of meat. Let's see if they have something like it. No, they don't, so let's do random. Shin 95. Let's get started. And here we go. So I'll show you the setup of the Kamado in a second, and then we'll put the meat on. We'll be smoking with applewood chunks today. Let me just put them in. And obviously fully indirect, and then the meat goes on. We're going to smoke for roughly 3 hours, and then we're going to wrap. Right, the meat is on, and because it has a ton of collagen, you want to go low and slow on that one, so take your time. You know, do like 110 to 115 degrees Celsius. You know, don't let it go over 120. Really give that meat time to do its thing before we wrap it, and then we can crank up the heat a little bit. The meat is smoking away, and what I've decided to do is we had some potatoes and some pumpkin left over in the fridge, and you know, obviously barbecue roasted potatoes and you know, vegetables are always nice, so all we're going to do is they were already cut up, so we're going to use some olive oil. You know, give them a little bit of olive oil, and then I am going to use some Mediterranean herbal salts, so they have some lovely flavors, really remind you of Italy in the summertime. So anyways, we're just going to mix it, and then it's gonna go on when we wrap the meat. Right guys, exactly 3 hours are up, and we're going to wrap it in butcher's paper as well as aluminum foil. As you can tell in the background, quite a bit of movement, that's why I'm voicing this over. So we are not only going to wrap it in butcher's paper as well as aluminum foil, but we're also going to add a little bit of apple juice to it, you know, to give it some moisture to steam it. Unfortunately, the camera died at that point in time, but we're going to put it back on until it reaches 94 internal. Right guys, 6.5 hours later, we're done. So let's unwrap. And let me tell you guys, the smell is absolutely amazing. So let's cut those little strings. Carefully take them off, and then let's see if we can pull it apart. But wow, check this out, this is falling off the bone as we speak. Alright guys, and there you have it, our beef hammer, Thors hammer, Mjolnir burgers with a little bit of barbecued vegetables. Now I did rested the meat a little while longer, about half an hour to 45 minutes in its own juices, so it was really tender, and then I sliced it up to make little burger slices out of it, so that really worked out well. So yeah, we're gonna dig in now. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video about Thors hammer, the beef hammer, Mjolnir, whatever you want to call it. It was super delicious, super easy to make, and as you can tell, we made it with you know, some vegetables and some potatoes to go with it, and it really worked out well. So yeah, I'm having a Kölsch, a traditional drink here in the local region. Today is Carnival Sunday, so yeah. All the best to everyone, alaf, as they say here. And yeah, if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate a comment and a thumbs up. Please head over to that subscribe button for more great videos to come. And I hope to see you soon again at Toby's Barbecue Corner.